We just got to the scene just a few minutes ago, but if you take a look behind me here, you can see that fire is active once again. A hoarding situation. Now, if you follow me over here to the house, you can really get a better idea as to what they're talking about here. It's been nearly 3 hours since that fire broke out, and as you can see, it's showing no sign of dying down out here. So they really are hoping that once they're able to go talk to him after he's being treated, that he'll be able to provide some key information.
You want to feed her a chunk?
Yeah.
Just hold it right out here.
Me and baby have that in common. We both could do a whole loaf of bread in one sitting.
She might want you to put it right in her mouth.
Duffy joins us now live from Dairy Township, Dauphin County, with a preview of all the action. So you promised us a duet.
That way, but wonderful news. Oh, this was the ending. Wonderful.
That's where we find Fox 43's Kara Duffy this morning with the latest on their cleanup efforts and why it could take a few more days to clear. Hey, Kara.
Good morning. Yeah, right now we're here along Penn Street, and as you can see, I am still knee deep in snow, even 3 days after the storm hit. And unfortunately, though, this is what a lot of the side roads look like here in Harrisburg. As you can imagine, the people who live here are growing more and more impatient and frustrated every day.
It's bad. It was bad plowing. No plow came through here.
Troy Proctor hasn't been to work in 2 days. He says he can't. Penn Street hasn't been touched, making it impossible to go anywhere.
Oh, yeah, I'm angry. Yeah. I miss work and everything, you know. I mean, if I could have got to the main road, I could have got out there. But if you forget the whole lane here, how are you supposed to get to work?
This is just one of several city streets paralyzed by the record-breaking snowstorm. On Chestnut Street, crews are also hard at work. But a lack of staff mixed with low resources means that some city roads may not be clear until the weekend.
We have to do with loaders and big heavy equipment. The plows are pretty much useless in these types of situations.
Instead, crews must move the snow onto large mounds in the middle of the intersection, then dump it onto trucks, which will then take it to City Island.
It'd be easier if we could just plow it and we could push it somewhere, but now we got to remove it because we have nowhere to put it at.
In the meantime, the travel ban has been lifted, but Mayor Eric Pappenfuss is still urging people to stay off the roads.
I don't think anything would have worked for 30 inches of snow other than everybody needing to be patient and needing us to work to dig out.
Now, there is some good news this morning. City officials say that they have hired private contractors who will be making the rounds today with 10 additional front-end loaders, hoping to speed this process along. Reporting live in Harrisburg, I'm Kara Duffy, Fox 43 News. We are told that some airlines are actually adding round trips to New York and Boston while trying to accommodate some of those people who are affected by this deadly derailment. We're here along the 800 block of South Railroad Street, where that fire broke out just before 1 o'clock this morning. If you take a look behind me here, you can see that this is now all that's left of A&H Industries.
Fox 43's Kara Duffy has been following the story all morning long and is joining us now with the very latest. Kara.
Yeah, right now we're here at the corner of Holly and Birchfield Street. This is where Harrisburg police say a man was shot and killed just before 1 o'clock this morning. Yellow crime tape still blocking off the surrounding area as the search for the gunman continues. In the meantime, though, police are also investigating another violent incident that took place just 1 block over in a nearby alley. I'm going to step aside here so you can get a better look at what's going on back here. This Burger King, we told you earlier, they did tell us it would be a total loss and that they were going to have to start tearing it down. And as you can imagine, education officials statewide are breathing a collective sigh of relief after Governor Wolf's decision not to veto this budget.
We have 250 lifeguards that watch over the water park.
251. Okay.
Now it's 251.
Now it's 251.
Absolutely. You're trained and ready to go.
Well, thanks, Drew. Thanks. 6:30.
I can't even start this with you again this morning. It was the morning of February 7th, 2013. Barbara Mancini made the trip from Philadelphia to Pottsville to see her 93-year-old terminally ill father.
He had fallen the day before. That night when my mother and brother were helping prepare him for bed, he wouldn't even allow them to remove his clothing. He was in so much pain. He told them that he felt like they were breaking his bones.
Mancini says that morning he asked her to hand him his morphine, which he had been prescribed for pain.
I handed it to him, he opened the lid, and before I could measure out the dose, he drank what was left in this vial.
She says what unfolded next forever changed their family.
I told the hospice nurse that he took the morphine, and to my great surprise, she said he had to go to the hospital to be treated for an overdose.
While Mancini says she didn't know exactly what her father's intentions were that morning, she did know he did not want to go to a hospital.
He had written advance directives that clearly stated he wanted no life-prolonging treatment. I was his legal health care proxy. He had a standing do not resuscitate order. He was adamant that he never wanted to go to a hospital.
She says hospice called 911 anyway. Moments later, paramedics and police arrived.
The police arrested me right there in the house immediately and charged me with aiding an attempted suicide. And in Pennsylvania, that is a second-degree felony. And if you're convicted, you can get up to 10 years in prison.
Her father died in the hospital 4 days later.
During that time, his kidneys failed, his heart was starting to fail. He developed pneumonia in both lungs.
What came next was a year-long legal battle until a judge finally dropped all charges against Mancini, saying that prosecutors failed to prove a crime was ever committed.
I was vindicated, but you could say it was a Pyrrhic victory. You know, we suffered a lot in that entire year. My entire family did, and my father's death was terrible. And you can't do that over.
Since the ordeal, Mancini has become a strong supporter of the Death with Dignity movement.
I don't know if my father would have chosen medical aid in dying if that option were available, but I do know he would have wanted that choice.
It's a choice two lawmakers here in Pennsylvania are also pushing for. Representative Mark Rossi and Senator Dalen Leach have both introduced bills that, if passed, would allow doctors to prescribe life-ending medication to terminally ill patients.
You shouldn't have to wait for somebody in your own family to go down this road to say, now I support this. Open up your mind and let's get to the point where if you are at this point in your life, that you have this choice.
In the meantime, Mancini says she'll continue to spend her days traveling around the country, sharing her story in hopes of making something good out of a very bad experience.
I'm trying to increase awareness that this can be an issue for anyone who's in the role of a caregiver of a dying loved one. I mean, I had never imagined that such an ordeal was possible. It just seemed beyond comprehension.
Tomorrow on Fox 43 News, we'll take a closer look at the two bills introduced by Representative Rossi and Senator Leach. We'll also hear from those against this legislation who say they're concerned with how it could negatively impact people with disabilities. I'm Kara Duffy, Fox 43 News.